right, I'm gonna wait and see if some people tune in. We're back in action. We're back in action. Okay. Hey, so we're back in action. We're so sorry about that, guys. We were having some technical difficulties an hour ago, but we're back. Okay, I'm glad to see that people are joining in. Welcome to Lotus We Create IG Live. Thank you for tuning in. This is Founders Conversation, episode 4. This is a mini series for artists, creatives, entrepreneurs who are looking for some source of inspiration during these troubled times that we are all in. We're going to be talking everything entertainment and all the tools you need to help you succeed in this industry. I'm waiting to see. Oh, okay. Our guest is here. So I'm going to accept. Hey! Sorry about that.
So happy it worked. Oh my God.
Yes. I know you were having issues with your live the other day, right? You couldn't get into the other person's live.
Yeah, I don't know. Instagram be hating. They don't want me to agree.
Yeah, that's how it go. That's how it go. Well, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna just do a brief introduction for you, and then you can go ahead and talk about who you are and what you do, even though I'm gonna be saying the same thing. But thank you, D.Woods, for tuning in. This is D.Woods. Some of you know her from MTV's Making the Band and the all-girl group Danity Kane. She's a singer, dancer, and actress. Welcome to Founders Conversation. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl D.Woods. And yes, I am a dancer, singer, songwriter, actress. Also, I would like to say I'm a philanthropist and change agent.
Yes.
I'm just kind of like an all around, dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually started a nonprofit organization called Foolish Dreamers a couple years ago.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. And it was in cahoots with a song that I released called Foolish Dreamer on one of my projects called The Gray Area. So this is all the things that y'all can go look up. The Gray Area, D.Woods, Foolish Dreamers.
Yes.
It was really because I knew how much people poured into me when I was a young child in like summer camps and dance schools and school, and some of these people they just spoke like volumes into my future, into my self-esteem, and without some of those conversations, without some of those like real selfless acts, things that people went above and beyond, like they didn't have to do some of the things that they did, they really showed me that there were alternatives and other pathways, and just really no limitations. Only limits you have is the limits that you put on yourself, and without that, I wouldn't be who I am today. I adapted that, and with a couple of my friends who actually went through some of those programs with me, we decided to put together the Foolish Dreamers, because sometimes when you're in certain circumstances, certain environments, you have a dream and everybody laughs at you like, oh, you're never gonna make it. Oh, why would you think you all that? Why people just kind of like make you feel like you're asking for too much.
Right.
So that's why we call it Foolish Dreamers, because to the outside world, you're foolish for thinking that much of yourself. But really, it's like, you know what? If I was given that inspiration, if I was given that idea, if I was given a dream from wherever it was, it's not by mistake. It was a whisper when the world is yelling all this other negativity stuff. So like enhance the whisper or enhance the belief in that whisper. So shout out to some of my Foolish Dreamers that are out there, and my partners in crime, Kimiko Johnson and Sam Collier.
Yes.
Keyshawn Saley, all these people who helped me put Foolish Dreamers together. and that was in 2012. So since then, I've seen some people graduate and go on university programs and get booked on like amazing
That's amazing.
jobs. Yeah, so I'm like, oh wow, I feel good, pat on the back.
That's
And
right.
sometimes it's like I was really needing to reinforce my own inspiration and self-esteem. So I went out and worked on somebody else's dream. And
Right.
it kind of took the focus off of what I was going through and whatever obstacles and everything I was going through. And I was like, let me just pour into somebody else. And some of the things that I wish that somebody would tell me, I would tell other kids,
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Absolutely. Okay, that's beautiful. Congratulations to you, D.Woods. I'm super proud of you and all your accomplishments. You are definitely a superstar and an icon to many, many people out there. You definitely poured into the young kids when you taught them at Lotus Creations Academy. And just hearing all the great feedback from the little ones and from Jersey and David it touched me and inspired me. So thank you so much for all that you do. Okay.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Oh, yes, yes.
I would go back sometimes and just look at the videos I had, and I just would look at their faces.
Yeah.
And, it's like sometimes when you teach people, you don't know if they're really getting it, if they're really receiving it, if they think you're wasting their time or whatever. So, like, you just kind of like press through because you got like a window of time, like an hour and a half with them or whatever. But I went back and I would look at those videos and I'm like, wow, their faces are like so like lit up. And whatever I was saying or whatever the activity was, it's like their own wheels turning in their head of like whatever. They were
they loved it. They loved it. Okay, so we're definitely gonna jump into some questions. So the first question we're gonna get into is, what did you want to be when you were growing up? What did you see yourself as when you were a little girl?
Well, what I'm doing now. I definitely was, dancing in the basement and in the backyard, putting little shows together with my sisters, cousins, and like I had, my father, my grandmother, and great grandmother. They would have us come over in the summertime, and they had a pool. So we would come up with all kind of extravagant, swimming routines, and we would spend hours, and that's like we really got lost in our own little dream world of like routines and putting together costumes, and then go out and perform it for our family or our friends. And then one thing led to another, going into different dance programs, performing arts programs. And that's why I was, saying like some of those teachers or some of those mentors or camp counselors or whatever that saw that little like spark in me back then, like, as little as 3 years old. I remember my first dance recital was I was 3 years old. So, yeah, like that's what I wanted to do. And I would just, back in the day, I don't know, like some of y'all like super, whatever we call them now, Generation Z, whatever the terminology.
Oh yeah, the millennials, Generation Z.
To watch videos on television, and you have to wait for your favorite video, and then you have to record it so that you can learn the choreography and back, and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We did all of that stuff, yeah.
That's crazy. It's crazy how technology has come a long way, huh?
Yeah.
For real, for real. I remember when I was a little girl, too, doing the same things. So tell us, what was your journey like training for your first big break?
Oh, well, it depends, because I feel like every training, every experience was, like preparing me for the next phase or the next challenge or the next like platform. So I remember you're from New York, and you may know of this dance choreographer. His name is Frank Hatchett.
Okay.
Frank Hatchett, he's very popular like in the Broadway Dance Center community. He had a whole thing called WAP. That was his like trademark. But Frank Hatchett is originally from Springfield, Massachusetts, where I'm from.
Oh, okay.
And I remember like my dance teacher, she trained with him, and he came back to Springfield and he did this big, production at the, Symphony Hall and everything, and had all these dance schools from the area to audition to be, and we were like one of the only like Black, predominantly dance schools. So walking into that audition, I think I was like 8. I was so nervous. I was so like, kind of like self-conscious, because here are these schools that have like all this money, and they have all the equipment, all the costumes, all the, dance shoes, or, tights, and they're all coordinated and their buns are pulled back.
Right.
All these little like rags. Well, we knew we could dance, but so like we have in this first time I like did an audition with like a number on me, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm just not used to this, and I'm not really a competitive, like, oh, I'm gonna take you down type competitive person. I've also always been like competitive with myself, like pushing myself. So I just wasn't used to that environment. And I remember my dance teacher pull us aside like after the first like rounds, and she could tell we were like, she pulled us. She was just like, look, you're gonna get, show them what you do, like do what you do. Don't try to do what they do. Like, okay. And then I had a couple other, situations like that when I was in high school. I auditioned for the Alvin Ailey Intensive Summer Program. Okay,
nice.
And same thing, I got real like self-conscious about myself, and I'm thick. I always been thick. You know what I'm saying? These guys been with me since birth. And so, in the concert dance world, the body type is slender, long, whatever.
Right.
I'm muscle, compact, more of like a sprinter, type of body type. Yeah. And there was a comment made about girls with butts and thick thighs. I just kind of looked at myself, and I just was like, and I left. And the next Monday, my dance instructor, Dawn Axum, shout out to Dawn Axum, Tri-Cities High School, Atlanta, Georgia. I came in her class that next Monday. She lit me up. She went in on me. It was like, don't ever let somebody, eliminate you. Something that they say, don't ever eliminate yourself. She went off. And I was just like, what he said? Oh. So I didn't do it that summer because I eliminated myself. But next summer I came in there, I was like, oh, what you got? And I did the program, and it was like one of the best experiences, just being up here in New York by myself for the whole summer, taking classes and as many classes as I could, even the classes that I wasn't like scheduled for. I went into company. I went into the B students, the Fordham BFA students. I'm taking all the classes. As long as I'm in here, they're gonna have to take me out of class. Like if I look crazy, that means I'm gonna just get better. I'm just gonna push farther. It's something else that I need to learn, another tool. Put in my arsenal. So
okay. Well, that's perfect, because it ties me into my next question. I was going to ask you, who are some people that have inspired you to pursue your dreams? So I'm going to assume some of the people that you just spoke about are some of your inspirations, of course, because they actually pushed you and helped you gain the confidence that you need. But who are some other people that have inspired you?
Well, I've been talking about dance a lot. So we'll talk about kind of like these all triple threat performers, the people like J-Lo, the people like Vanessa Williams, Becky Allen and Felicia Rashad, Josephine Baker.
Yes, Miss Baker.
Josephine Baker movie is a Josephine Baker movie that was like, I don't know. I was really young. I was like, 6 or 7 or whatever I saw it. And Lynn Whitfield, the actress Lynn Whitfield played Josephine Baker. even, like male singers, male performers, like I listened, I remember I asked my mother to buy me a Stevie Wonder anthology album because I just wanted to listen to his songs, listen to how he put lyrics together, the way he would put the structure of a song, the verse, the chorus, and then go back to the break. Like I was just studying like all of these different Sam Cooke, Donny Hathaway. One of my favorite artists and singers is Brandy, and I will sing you the entire Full Moon album acapella because that's how much I used to listen to. Missy Elliott, Outkast, of course our favorite, Jay-Z, Biggie, Lauryn Hill, Mary J. Blige.
Yes,
The
great.
Listen to, watch their videos, watch their, behind the scenes stuff, you name it. And you can take a little something from just about everybody, even people like in different genres, like Madonna or like Queen, or like there's an artist, I don't know if you know, there's an artist, her name is Bjork, and a lot of people don't know about her, but a lot of people do. And I listen to her stuff, and she just has this amazing, unorthodox voice. And her videos are like futuristic and all over, and all that stuff. You just Cirque du Soleil, things that just like really get you in your imagination of like, we don't have to do it the way, we can do really
everything. Be very versatile. That's true. So let's talk about what your creative process is like. How's that for you? How's your creative process?
Well, like how about like earlier today, I was up on the rooftop. I was up on the rooftop choreographing something.
Oh, nice.
So it was just really when the spirit hits me, sometimes it's an idea in my head, and I gotta like just like find the right song, or I gotta find the right sound, or sometimes it's like just I might be washing the dishes and it's like, oh, I just got moves. Just have an idea for that, Writing in writing music, sometimes I get the track first, and then I listen, and I actually start seeing colors in my mind. That kind of puts me in.
Really?
I feel like this song needs to be like this, or maybe I'll have a phrase in my head. It's like, we need to write a song about that phrase, So, it kind of comes, it kind of just like lives in me, flowing through my veins.
And you don't have to be in like one spot to be like in your creative zone, right? You don't have to be like in your house or on the rooftop or in the studio. It's anywhere, right?
Well, for me, it can be anywhere. I think it's more like the vibe of where I am, because sometimes if I'm actually at a recording studio, I don't get the idea. It's like home first. It's like maybe like a comfort level. But if I'm really comfortable in a particular studio, or maybe with that producer, or maybe the way that their room is set up, where the lights are set up, I'll just kind of like relax, and then it'll flow. But when it's in a situation where you feel like it's like forced and it's like a time constraint, that'll never work.
That's right. True. That's true. So how important is it for an artist to obtain good training? How important is it for an artist to train? And how often should the artist be training?
I would say you as an artist, you never stop training.
Right.
You never stop working. You never stop learning. You never stop learning. You never stop growing.
That's right.
So, like, even now, like during this quarantine period, I took it as a real opportunity to train in some things that I maybe have neglected because the hustle and bustle of running back and forth, trying to get gigs, trying to audition, trying to be, and we were sitting still, So I was like, I've been meaning to order that book. I've been meaning to read up on that thing. I've been meaning to do these online master classes. I've been meaning to go on YouTube and do these, ballet bars, because
Yes.
you can find everything on YouTube now.
That's right.
Like I'm here, I'm in my apartment, we got room. I'm gonna do ballet every morning. I didn't do it every morning, but I made it.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like always finding something to push yourself, because if you're not learning, you're just stagnant. And then
Absolutely.
why keep doing it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even putting yourself in the company of others who are better than you. It's inevitably push you to be better, because you got to keep up. Either you're going to keep up or you're going to tap out.
Absolutely.
So
I agree with you 100%. Even when I was dancing, professionally, and I was taking it very serious, I was always making sure that I was training. Even when I did slack a little bit, I felt it. I was like, oh no, I got to get back to it, back to the basics. Even with exercising, got to get back to the basics. So it is important for people to train as much as possible.
Right.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Especially as a dancer, because, if you're in the professional jobs, you're not necessarily doing your technique, and your technique is what's going to keep you from injuring yourself.
Absolutely.
Keep you in shape. Sometimes, you could be advanced as you want to be, you on Broadway, or you on say, or you doing whatever, but go to your, basic beginner, whatever level ballet class, and just stand at the bar and just make sure your tendus are aligned. Make sure your pirouettes are aligned. Because there's always something that maybe you've been taking dance since you were 3 or 4 years old, but there's always, and now that your body has matured, now that you have this other stuff in you, it's going to land different when you hear it again. So I say keep training all the time.
Yes, great advice. Thank you. So now we have a good question coming up for you, okay? If you had to choose one talent to save your life, what would you choose? And the 3 options, girl, are singing, dancing, and acting. You can only choose one.
It's going to save my life. What's the circumstance? Somebody got done.
Yeah, somebody got a gun to your head saying, girl, this is it for you. You got to choose one career. That's it. One talent.
Oh. They might have to shoot me. But
take my life.
Yeah, they might have to shoot me, because I really don't separate the disciplines. You know what I mean? I feel like there are times when you push one out to the forefront.
Yes.
But for me, doing all 3 has saved my life in real. Being able to express myself. And I always say this, like as far as like musical theater, some people are like, oh, musical theater is so cheesy, I can't stand it. Why they just start singing out of nowhere? It's like, when the storytelling is so good, and the script and the dialogue is so good, and you get to this level of emotionality that you can no longer express in words, you have to sing it now.
Yes.
Now, when the emotion gets so big with the song, we can't just sing about it. We got to get it out with our body. Yes. And then when it gets to that high place, then we'll crash back down and then we'll sing. And I feel like that's how I move through, those 3 disciplines, singing, dancing, and acting. It's like sometimes if I'm writing a song and I just can't get the words out, I start moving around. Yeah, so that's
wow. That's beautiful though. That's good. So what is the difference between auditioning as a dancer versus auditioning as a singer and actress?
Oh yeah. It's the difference.
Big difference.
Well, first of all, auditioning, the mental preparation in as an actor versus a singer versus a dancer is totally different, because you're using a different instrument, you're using a different muscle. When you go in for an audition, first of all, you got to make sure you are physically, you know, if the
Right.
audition starts at 10, you should probably show up around 9. You know what I mean?
Well, can you repeat that for some people who be late all the time? Yeah, repeat that.
The audition starts at 10. That means you need to be there at 9. So you are
right.
warming your body up. And so you are ready to hit it at 10.
Yes.
You warm up into it, you know, because you don't want to, like I said, you don't want to get injured. Then you want, sometimes through that warm up, it helps you get mentally prepared. Like, all right, now I'm going in, I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to pick these steps up, and it's muscle, you know, it's quick. What is it? What's the word I'm looking for? You know, just like that immediate memory, you know.
Muscle memory?
Yeah, short-term memory.
Short-term, okay.
Because you got to see it. You got to see it one time. Don't ask no questions. Just like, I saw it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I was trained. Like, we couldn't do all this raising our hand, asking questions, and talking about it. It was like, you saw what she did, do it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What I did last time, that's what it is. That's what the step is. And having you, but that's where, now I'm starting to get layered. That's where having like some training in music and some training becomes critical, because you have to have musicality. You have to hear the phrasing, hear the music. Then you have to have your acting a little bit, because it's not just robotic steps. It's like you're telling a story.
Right.
You got to give face. You got to give emotion. That's what's going to make you stand out from the other person. Like past their head. Everybody get their leg past their head. Everybody can do, you know, 4 pirouettes and stop on his arm. So what? What are you going to bring? You got that inner glow. You got to have that inner story, that whatever you're communicating. So that's where the acting comes in.
Yes.
So that's a dance audition.
The dance.
So when you have when you're going in for a singing audition, and especially here in New York, it's grueling. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, is at 10. You need to start warming up at your house, warming up that voice, and then what you did the night before is going to show up on the day of too. Because if you was out drinking, if you was drinking a lot of dairy, if you were, you know, throwing back shots with your friends, or smoking, or talking loud on the phone, or you didn't get enough sleep, you're going to be raspy. You're going to be dry. You know? So like, what time you going to get up, take a nice long hot steamy shower, start warming up in the shower, you know what I'm saying, get your tea, start walking, have your sheet music, have your music ready, you know what I'm saying, because you're only going to get about 16 bars, you know what I'm saying, you got to get to the good part of the song. Don't give me the warm up in the intro. I need the bridge. I need that. I need that high, whatever that show stopping note. And you don't get a whole bunch. You don't get 3 times to do it. You get 1 time to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't let it be the same song that everybody's singing.
Don't just hate that. You go to an audition, everybody singing the same song. I'm tired of that.
Right. And then for an acting audition, you know, it's a little bit more preparation, because you'll get the side, the scene, you know, hopefully, depending on if it's film and TV or if it's theater, you know, sometimes you might get it the day of. That's when you really gotta be on your job. But you know, you get it the night before, you get it a couple nights before. You gotta do that work, you gotta do that scene studying, you gotta get into the character, and you gotta walk in with that.
Yes.
And you gotta wear it, and you gotta go into it right away. You can't be like, hey, I was just trying, that was just, you know, and you gotta memorize your lines. You don't want to be on the paper. You know what I'm saying? You can have it in your hand, but you don't want to be relying on it. Like, and, you know, it's just there for reference. Sometimes I just hold it. I might always already have it memorized, but I just have it in hand just as like a comfort. But I really got it memorized, and you know what you're talking about. You know your intentions. You know what your character wants out of the scene, what your character wants out of that other character that you're talking to. And then you're going to have a dry ass line reader on the other end giving you no emotion. Reading it like a robot, and then you got to drop and give them tears and give them all the things, and it's like
all that extra stuff.
That person's reading it back to you like, wah, 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 wah. Like you can't let it please you. You know what I'm saying? It's all those different mentalities. But like I said, the preparation before you actually step on it and say your name and do your thing is very important.
Okay. Well, those of you who are tuned in, make sure y'all taking some notes and some mental notes because she's spitting some gems for y'all. For those of you who want to audition as a singer, actress, or dancer, okay? Please take some notes. So my next question is, how would you describe your sound in music and your style in dancing?
Well, I would say I'm kind of musically. I would just kind of call it like urban alternative.
Ooh, urban alternative. I like that.
Urban alternative because it's definitely of the urban, whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means, right?
It's us. It's black. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, I'm gonna give you different versions of what black means. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll turn around and do like a guitar rock influenced track that sounds very, Janet Jackson, Black Cat. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or like Pharrell, N.E.R.D. Or like Lenny Kravitz or whatever. And somebody who would see me maybe walking through the mall in the hood would just think that I'm just a girl who's gonna be popping her neck and ready to, Megan Thee Stallion you out. You know what I'm saying? But I will, drop it down low and give you a Megan Thee
That's right. Got some good knees.
A moment of the strong meat club, but then also I can give you a very legit pop ballad, power, So I feel like it kind of goes like a spectrum. So that's why I just call it urban.
Yeah. Now, since you're talking about urban, do you like that term, urban, in the music industry, like as a category for an artist? Because I was having a conversation with someone a few days ago, and we were talking about the whole urban category and how do you fit certain artists in that category if they don't sound urban? Like, is urban just one term for black people or black sound? Like, how do you feel about that?
You know what? That does raise a good question. I just feel like I really don't like categories at all.
Okay.
I kind of just feel like it's dope. It's dope music, the hot shit, you know what I'm saying? But like, for the sake of other people, I've adapted certain terminology or genres so that they can understand. And like, as far as like when submitting some of my music for like Grammy nominations, I had to figure out what genre they would see it as. Because if I put it in the wrong category, it would, cancel out my chances because they don't. So maybe I think it's EDM, but they think it's pop. Or maybe they think it's R&B, but I think it's something else. I don't know. But so it's like, okay, just having to, kind of play that game. We are making our own definitions of ourselves, and we want to define ourselves. And the music has been, because like before, and I was doing all this kind of stuff like before it was popular, before Janelle Monáe was popular. Like she had shows together in Atlanta before she was popular. So I know when she has come, and she's doing exactly what she's always been doing, but people haven't caught on to it, and because of the track record that I had and what people know me from, they didn't think that I should be doing that. Yeah. So then like, okay, they don't think I should be doing this, so they're gonna categorize my music as something else. What they but really it's that over there. But they say this because that's where they know me from. So I have to kind of have to play that back and forth game of like, this is what you think of me. This is what you have identified. When you see me, put me in this category. I'm still going to do what I do until I can convert y'all over to the other side of what I do. So the Solanges or the Frank Oceans or the Miguels or the, whoever else is, you know what I'm saying? It's like we have these festivals like, Afropunk is a lot more commercial or mainstream than before. They didn't change anything. It's just that people have kind of gravitated to it. The taste, the ear of more of a mainstream crowd.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's the tricky part about the music industry. That's why I'm like, God bless all you artists, because I can only imagine that struggle sometimes as being an artist and you have your own sound, but then you have these record labels and I guess other people behind the scenes that categorize you in this one sound when you're really not that sound, but now you got to fit into that realm. So that I do understand can be very tricky.
And it's a business at the end of the day. So if you are just this artsy person, it's good to have somebody on your team that thinks more business strategy so that you don't have to break your neck trying to speak a language that's not, native to you.
Yeah.
You have somebody else who can fight that fight for you while you can be in your zone and be as creative as you want to be. And you have somebody else who can take what you're doing and funnel it in a more corporate business way. And nobody is really compromising themselves. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's always good, teamwork makes the dream work. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their skill set. So some of us who are not creatively performative, but their talent is taking something and making it a product. Taking a creative idea and making it a sellable commodity product. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But we still work on the behalf of the creative and not, compromise their integrity or anything like that. And that's another conversation, and it's really hard. It's really hard to find people.
I understand. So let's talk about your experience on reality TV. How was that?
Speaking of taking something and making it a sellable commodity, that's what reality TV is. You have these archetypes of people, characters, and television producers. They know who they want to sell to. They know who they want to target as an audience. They know what kind of viewership they want. And if you happen to be on that show, even if you're not that type of person, you're going to be edited down and positioned and shown that way.
Yeah.
So it's really chess. You got to play chess. You got to know if you're going to go on a reality TV show. You got to have your strategy and your reasons, and also understand what kind of show it is and what their message is. And if it's not something that you think that you can maneuver or strategize, I just think you shouldn't do it.
Yeah. So you were on MTV's Making the Band, and you got to work closely with Lorianne Gibson. By the way, I love Lorianne Gibson. She's amazing, phenomenal woman. How was that experience?
I would have to say that I didn't get to work as closely as I would have liked to work with her.
Okay.
Because of everything that was around the situation. There wasn't a whole real one-on-one and authentic time because it was a competition, and they had a ulterior motive, what they wanted the show to invoke,
right, makes sense.
All that kind of stuff. So who she is and who she might be as a choreographer and as a instructor, as an artist, with someone who is not being shown for conflict and for drama and for ratings. I didn't get to experience that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So and I could tell there were moments where she wanted to do more, but she was restricted. Also.
Okay. Makes sense. It's reality TV. So would you do another reality TV show?
If I was an executive producer.
Oh, here we go. We're talking big money now. That's what we're talking about. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I love it. So if you could go back into time to change anything, absolutely anything in your career, what would you change?
Ooh, girl. I would definitely change some of the decisions I made based on what choices I thought I had at the time. I would definitely, I would say the biggest lesson that I learned about myself is to follow my first thought and follow my first instinct.
Yes.
And to really bet on myself. Bet on me, because at the end of the day, it always came back around and was like, I knew it. I knew I should have. I said that first. And then I second guessed myself, or I didn't fight hard enough for my idea, or I let somebody convince me that their idea was better or that they knew better, or I wasn't enough and I needed them, so I would change those moments.
Wow. That's beautiful. Definitely. And I can agree with you on that too for myself as well. Those are some things that I would change for myself as well, because I feel like I've allowed fear to hold me back from a lot of things. Just being scared to step out of that zone and just doing whatever that I've dreamt of doing. And I think a lot of people, a lot of artists and creatives out there can feel the same way, or having a lifetime where they felt stuck or scared to just push themselves and go, or trust their instinct. So that was good. So we're going to get into some bonus questions. And then if we have enough time, I'm going to allow some people to ask a few questions on the live. So if anyone has any questions, you can ask your question in the box. I assume that's what it is for. And then if we have time, I'll let Ms. D.Woods answer some questions, okay? So the first bonus question, because we're going to talk about some money, right? We love money, right? How important is it to read your contracts?
It is the most important.
Talk about it, girl. Talk about it.
It's the most important. And if you don't understand it, make sure you find somebody who can explain it to you.
Absolutely.
Yes. You have to know what you're signing up for. You got to know what you're getting into.
Yeah, because some of these artists out here, even dancers, are getting robbed. Okay? Getting robbed out there. And it's crazy. I'm not even going to get into that. That's a whole nother story. I'm going to just go right into the next question, because then we can talk more about that. How much should you charge to dance in a music video? And how much should a dancer be getting paid?
Well, that can be very flexible. I would have to say that it all depends. I really think you should be. These rates may have changed. There was a thing called Dancers Alliance.
Yes.
Where and there's a lot of there's a lot of the dance agencies. So maybe these things have fluctuated and have changed since I was dancing and doing these kind of rates. But for like an 8-hour rehearsal, you would get like $250. You know what I'm saying? And then overtime and time past that,
Okay.
Then, I mean, depending on if it's a major artist, if it's a tour, if it's, how many songs in the show are you doing? Is it the full song? How intricate are the dancers to the show? And all these things. Are you getting per diem?
Right.
Are you putting your agent's fee on top, or is it coming out of your rate? Like all of these things, like they can fluctuate, and I don't have exact numbers, but those are all the things to take into consideration.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I've come around a lot of dancers who spoke about not getting paid for some big, big gigs or getting paid like $100 or less for something that was really, really huge. And I'm just like, are we, as dancers, are we being vocal about how much we should be getting charged or how much we should be getting paid in these music videos or going on tour, doing these shows? Are you reading your contracts thoroughly? Like, is there something that we're missing out as dancers? Like, is there something that we really need to be paying attention to that's super important about us getting paid what we're worth?
Definitely. Definitely. I feel like, dancers are usually the hardest working,
Yes.
but definitely valued the least.
Yes.
It's a catch-22 with value because everybody needs them, everybody wants them, but nobody wants to pay for them. So it's kind of like dancers have, you can't just believe, and it kind of comes in the conditioning that you get from your training to be seen, not heard, and you trust the instructor, you trust the choreographers, and you're one of many and all these things,
Right.
So that's where I feel like dancers get taken advantage of because that ingrained, conditioning. But dancers, they do need to be more about their business. They need to be a part of these unions. You need to be a part of SAG. You need to be a part of AFTRA.
Yes.
You need to make sure that you are up on all the movements that are happening with, Dancers Alliance and rates and, conditioning, if you're doing theater, be a part of equity, these unions and these things are not just there like as a a chore or just something to take your money. They're to make sure that you have somebody to fight for you in these situations, because your body is your instrument. Your body is your livelihood. You can't be dancing on concrete. You know what I'm saying? For 5 and 6 hours. You can't be in conditions with no air conditioning, no fans, or no water breaks, and sufficient amount of time to take a break.
Come on now.
Can't be more than 8 shows a week. Kicking your leg up, not getting physical therapy, not having any time. All these things.
Right.
When you twist your ankle, when you overextend, your hamstring, when you and I've been injured on stage. Like I've dislocated this right shoulder. I don't know
really? What was
that? So and keep going.
That's right. You got to keep going.
So having enough, having the right, accommodations, traveling accommodations, because it's your body at the end of the day. Per diem, catering on set or at the venue, like all these things, because your body needs to be fed and needs to be protected. So
absolutely.
So that's not really answering like the how much you need to get paid, but these are all the things to consider. And to make sure that are outlined or being fought for. Yeah.
And just knowing your worth. Knowing your worth. So have you danced for any other artists?
Definitely.
Oh, who are some of those artists that you've danced for?
Well, my first dance job was for Lil Bow Wow.
Oh, Little Bow Wow. You just don't know. Hey.
Bow Wow, the singer Lloyd, Latoya.
Oh yes, Lloyd.
Snoop. R&B singer Avant. Let's see what else. Just recently, I was on tour with Teddy Riley and Blackstreet and Guy.
How was that?
That was a lot of fun. It was like all the songs from, when I was way too young to be really knowing those songs, but I knew them. So, and doing like the old school Jack Swing dancing, and his sound has come back around because it's being sampled, it's being used, being recreated by so many people,
Yeah.
And who know,
Mm-hmm.
look on, and just to know like how many hits that man has made. The show literally was like a 2.5 hour show of back to back
Ooh.
hits, and he ain't even doing all the hits. He ain't even doing all of them.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that type of like career was just really good to see up close and just
Uh-huh.
see how he works, how he puts his show together. And so I was definitely rooting for him when him and Babyface went on Versus the technical difficulties.
Poor Teddy Riley. Poor Teddy Riley. It's okay.
Teddy trying to do the show right now on
It's
IG
okay.
Live. I don't understand what he was trying to do for y'all.
He was giving us the real concert up front on IG Live. But it's okay, IG is crazy. But some people have some questions. So we have like roughly 10 minutes left. So we're going to try to answer some of these questions. I see one person is asking, would you ever sing with all the girls in Danity Kane again? And did you stay in contact with any of them?
I would have to say I have definitely moved past that point.
Mm-hmm.
My creative evolution, that was definitely a moment where I did what I had to do when I had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like I described it as like, because we didn't know each other.
Right.
We didn't know each other. We have, had very little in common. We were put together. It was a competition.
Right.
And we didn't choose each other. We were chosen. So that was very difficult. And I've been in different situations like that. Of course, every time I do a show, every time I do a theater production or a part of a cast, I don't choose people. But there's a certain amount of like mutual respect and camaraderie that comes along with those casts, because at the end of the day, we're all coming to the work and knowing what we are bringing to the work. In the case of the group Danity Kane, we were made to be competitors against each other, and that competitive nature never really died. So the friendship never really, we wasn't, ever really there.
Right.
And I know people are like, oh, but y'all were sisters, y'all were this. And once again, I say it was edited and television. So, did what I had to do. And when it was time to part ways, when Puff, dismantled the group, we parted ways. And I was like, okay, and I'm moving on to the stuff that I am passionate about, things that I know myself, things that I know that are in me that I have not been able to show in this space, that weren't appreciated in this space, that weren't even acknowledged in this space. And that's where I have put my focus to live those things out and not hold myself back, because no one's holding me back now. I was being held back before. That's right. As much as I wanted to give, as much as I wanted to implement and influence, it wasn't received in that space. So that's my answer for that.
Nice. Thank you. So somebody put a question here. Do you love Nicki Minaj?
She cool.
I don't.
I've met Nicki a bunch of times, been around her a lot, because, my sister Chanel was signed to Young Money. So I was around the Young Money family quite a lot. So Nicki's cool. You know what I'm saying? I hope she's doing well.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, well, I guess that's it. I don't think anyone has any other questions, and I want to make sure that Instagram don't cut us off, because you know how they like to just cut people off and give you a little 1 minute reminder.
I love Blackbird so much. Thank you, Anthony. He saw one of the films I did, Blackbird, with Monique.
Oh, nice.
Would I do another movie with Monique? Absolutely, I would. Absolutely. She's definitely she's a real one. Monique is a real one. Yeah, that film, people can see it right now on Netflix. And someone said, "Are you still singing?" Yes, I'm still singing. I never stopped. I have a lot of music out. So go to all if you are on my Instagram page, I have a link. I have a new single that I just released in the last month called "Call It Quits."
Yes.
And all of the music platforms that you can get it on, your Apple Music, your Spotify's, all those things. And once you look for Call It Quits, you'll also find all the other music that I've been releasing on my own label, Wood Grain Entertainment.
Yeah.
And you can also look out for new music that is going to be coming very, very soon. So D.Woods is singing. She's singing in her shower. She's singing on Broadway. She's singing in the studio. She's singing in your speakers. So.
That's right. That's right. Okay, well, thank you so much, D.Woods. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. You know, this was a great opportunity. I'm so glad that you answered all the questions, that we got to chit-chat for a bit. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing the new album, all the new music that's coming out for you. Any last words that you want to give to the people that are tuned in?
I want to say join the movement.
Yeah.
Wood Grain Entertainment, your girl D.Woods, and happy Juneteenth tomorrow.
Yes.
We're going to celebrate Juneteenth. We're going to really turn up and make this holiday like really something celebratory and celebrate Black culture.
Yes.
You know, Black Lives Matter.
All the time.
It's only begun. The fight has only begun. We've got a long way to go. So if y'all been out there fighting the fight, don't get started. Don't let up, because we are seeing changes, but we got to keep the foot on the pedal.
Yeah.
And make sure we're staying up on the news. Make sure you're registering to vote. Make sure you know who you're voting for and who's running. All those things.
Yes, that's right. It's important. Very important. Well, thank you once again. Y'all make sure y'all tune in and go follow your girl D.Woods. And you can follow me at Miss_Sherelle. This was amazing. This was Founders Conversation Series, episode 4 with D.Woods. Thank you all once again. Stay safe. God bless. And remember, Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Yes. Pound, period. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.